Test case writing for the sign up page for a demo application as an example. In this video, I am going to write test cases for the name fields of the sign up page and also write the test cases for verifying the overall functionality once we sign up, leaving each field empty at a time and write their expected results. In this video, I'm going to continue creating test cases for the sign up page of a demo application as an example, which I tried to relate with a real functional application or a module of a sign up page. In my previous video, I have already discussed these four test cases that we created. Now moving to the other test cases that we can also create to verify the first name and the last name fields and to check the overall functionality of an application or a module. If you go randomly and check any sign up form online, mostly you will see that once you have entered any wrong input into the fields, like in the name fields or say mobile number fields, etc., the input gets underlined with a red line. And this happens early before you have even signed up for the page, which indicates to the user that the input is wrong or something needed to be corrected. As an example, when I tried entering a name with a symbol on the Facebook sign up page, it showed me an error like this in red lines. Let's get back to the sign up suite of Google Sheets. Here is the fifth test case, which is to verify the name field using any sign or symbol in it. That is the invalid test case because name fields don't accept any signs or symbols in it. It should only accept names written in the alphabet. That is, only letters are accepted. So this test is an invalid test case. So I'm writing it in steps like this. Click on the first name field to select. The expected result should be that the first name field must be selected. You should be able to enter. Second, enter the first name field by using any symbol or sign. The expected result must be that the placeholder should be removed. It must show an error message in red lines. Next, enter all other fields with valid credentials. The expected result would be that you should be able to enter valid credentials into all other fields with no errors, that is, no red lines. And lastly, click on sign up. The expected result is that the sign up is not successful. It shows an error message which says enter valid first name. Once you are done creating all the test cases, these should be tested and executed by you or some other testers and must mark the status of the tests as pass, fail, blocked or skip. You can create one more drop down written as test now or to be tested. Simply click on the cell and edit to add another drop down menu from here as to be tested like this and apply to all to make changes. Then simply mark the status as to be tested once you create the test cases in the designing phase. Designing the test case document is up to you or according to the company for which you are working for. While you create the test cases in the designing phase, parallelly you may set the status as to be tested. Now let's move on to the next test case, that is number 6. What happens when you enter a too long name into the name field? Will it accept or not? Generally, it must not accept too long names. Let's say, for example, if you enter more than 100 alphabets into the name field, it's not considered normal input, right? And that's why it should be an invalid test case because names cannot be more than 100 letters or in fact more than 50 letters. So in order to test the name fields, we must enter two long names and check what happens. It should show an error message saying an invalid name or enter a valid name. And this should be the expected result. As soon as you type in the too long name, it must show an error in red lines, which indicates that it's not acceptable or the input is wrong. So let's create the test case for this. Click on the first name field to select. The expected result is that the first name field should be selected. You should be able to enter your first name. Next action is enter more than 53 alphabets into the name field. The expected result should be as soon as you enter the first letter of your name, the placeholder must be removed, and on entering too long name, it must show an error message in red lines. The next step or the action is enter all other fields by using valid credentials. The expected result is you should be able to enter valid credentials into all other fields with no errors. This means no red lines. And last is to click on the sign up button. The expected result should be the sign up is not successful. It shows an error message which says enter a valid first name. Similarly, the same way you can write the test cases for the last name fields. For example, you may quickly copy the test cases that we have already created for the first name fields from here and then paste them down below to create the test cases for the last name fields. You just need to edit the first name from all the places and write last name instead. So I'm going to edit the first name and write the last name here. Similarly, you can simply copy and paste all the test cases and edit the name fields because the tests are the same and we don't need to write them over all again. So just duplicate and paste and save some time. There are more test cases that you may write step by step like this and later execute them. Now let's check the other functionality of the application. For example, in some registration applications, the first name and the last name can be duplicated. We can have the same person with the same first name and last name. So what happens when a person has the same first and last names and the same spelling too? So to check this, let's enter the same names into both the first and last name fields, but this will be based on the requirement of the application. Some application accepts the same names and some might not. So the expected result will be according to the criteria set as per the application requirement that you are testing. So let's see how to write the test case for this. Let me show you where I have already written the test case for the same name fields to test. Test case number 11. Verify the first name and the last name fields with the same names. The first action should be to verify the first name and the last name fields with the same names. The expected result should be that the name fields must be selected. You should be able to enter your first and last name. The next action is to enter a valid first name. The expected result would be that the placeholder should be removed. You should be able to enter a valid first name. Next, enter a valid last name, same as the first name. The expected result would be that the placeholder should be removed. You should be able to enter a valid last name, same as the first name. Next, enter a valid mobile number. The expected result would be that the placeholder should be removed. You should be able to enter a valid mobile number. Then enter a new password. The expected result would be that the placeholder should be removed. You should be able to enter a valid new password. Lastly, click on sign up. The expected result would be that the sign up is successful. You must be redirected to the home page. Next, move on to the last test case that will check the overall functionality for sign up. So I'm writing test case number 12 as verify sign up leaving one field empty at a time, and that is invalid test case. So first step is to verify leaving first name field empty. Then click on sign up. The expected result would be sign up is not successful, shows an error message which says enter your first name. Next is verify leaving last name field empty, then click on sign up. The expected result would be sign up is not successful, shows an error message which says enter your last name. Third, verify leaving mobile number or password field empty. Then click on sign up. The expected result would be sign up is not successful. It shows an error message which says mobile number or email ID is required. And lastly, verify leaving password field empty. Then click on sign up. The expected result would be sign up is not successful and it shows an error message which says password is required. There is one more scenario for the name fields, that is verify the first name field by entering the name in a different language than the last name field. This will depend on the requirement of course. Not every application allows this, so check that and create the test case on this scenario. That's all about the name field. Now in my next video I will share how to create the test cases for the mobile number or email ID field and the password field. Like, share and subscribe. Press the bell icon to get notified of my new uploads. Thank you for watching.